This program is a Ukrainian program called Evening Coffee. The year is 2009. The world is still reeling in the effects of the 2008 economic crisis. The guest on this program is the senior pastor of the Embassy of God Church, Pastor Sunday Adelaja. Pastor Sunday, the first question I have for you is the whole world, the whole country, is it an economic crisis? And usually when in times of crisis, when there's social catastrophes and cataclysms, people usually turn to religion at higher rise. Some people are looking for advice, some people are looking for to be defended. People are looking for someone to listen to them, because outside of the church people are full of anger, full of disappointment, and no one is ready to listen to each other right now. And I think a part of those people come to you as well. What are these people looking for? What do these people want? And do they get what they want at your church? Unfortunately, most of all, people come to our church in the time of crisis in order because people have taken debts. They now have a big interest to pay to the banks, and they cannot because even if they had a good salary, they cannot pay for the loan back in crisis time, especially those who have taken the loans or in dollars, right? Yes, or people who invested real estate and everything. And now people are being taken to courts. Businessmen don't know where to go. They can't find a place to give them another loan, and they're in a very difficult situations. Do they get what they come to the church for? Of course they do, because first of all, the church gives them spiritual serenity, and they learn to cast their anxieties on God. In 1 Peter 5:7 it says, "Cast all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you." When people first come to church, we teach them, do not worry, because when a person begins to worry, they get health problems. There's conflicts in their family. If you take off that tension, then it's easier for a person to be open to new ideas and to new solutions. If a person is serene. However, if a person is not calm, if he's in a panic, then that causes problems for himself and his relatives and members of his family. So, as I understand, every person needs to understand that these problems of the world, no matter how difficult they are much smaller than the problem of the salvation of the soul. Because there's nothing more important to be in a balanced, peaceful relationship with the Lord. I sometimes even think that sometimes in the time of crisis, it's good for a person to be in peace in relation to himself, to reconcile with himself. Because if a person doesn't have inner peace, he cannot look out at the world with a sober point of view. However, when you've returned a person to a calm state and calm them down, then he finds it easier to interact with those around him, and he finds it easier to build a relationship with God. Imagine that a lady or a wife comes and she says, my husband has lost his job, we don't know what to do, or maybe he started drinking, maybe he started yelling. What would you tell him to do? To pray for him or to bring him to church as well? First, we tell her that she needs to, the most important thing that happens, the most important thing isn't what happens around us. What's important, what's key, is how we react to it. If he comes home all irritated, then understanding from her side is also critical. If she starts retaliating with, come on, I've been sitting home all day, I've cooked for you, I prepared everything, and you come home and start screaming, then because both sides are not ready to compromise, there will be nothing but chaos. So we tell her, why don't you start with yourself? First of all, connect to God and be blessed with His heavenly peace. And also, once that has happened, let your husband understand that you are here for him, that you support him, that you are with him, and then keep praying for him until he himself himself notices the changes in you, his wife, and when he starts noticing that, how come you're so peaceful all of a sudden? How come you aren't as irritated and hysterical as you were before? What's your secret? Where have you been going? And then when she starts telling him about the church, he also gets interested. Eventually he comes to see, because he wants to know, okay, where have you been going? Is this a normal place that has changed you that has changed you so much? And when they come, they realize, oh, I feel calmer too. And that's what we would suggest them to do. So, in principle, have more people come to your church? Yeah, always. Every month, people who have never come to our church before, there's 1,000 people that come for the first time, every single month of God. So these people, they usually come with some spiritual or emotional trauma. No, people usually come after they've seen how their friends and family have changed. When they see that those around them are changing, and they ask those people who are members of our church, hey, what's going on? Everyone's in tears. Why are you so calm? Why are you smiling? And as they learn more about our parishioners, they also want to come and see. Okay, this is my next question. From the point of view of religion, your organization is a church. But from the point of view of the civil society, you can say that it's a social organization. It's a place where people can be together and have a community and rest from the pressures of the world for a little bit. Are there some social programs in the church? Yes, definitely. So is it the motto of our president, the rich help the poor? No, we have a ministry of charity. So so that helps the poor, and also when members of our church come and write an application, then we know that he has a need, and we can get back to him and help him resolve it. And those in the church bring put their resources towards the charity, and some relief is distributed in the church. Does that really work? Well, yes. Just look at this. 20,000 people are attending Embassy of God churches all over Ukraine every Sunday. How could I ever influence and be involved in the lives of all those 20,000 people? That is why we have about 3,000 groups of people who are working with tiny groups. Every one of these leaders has about 10 people that they're talking with and learning about. And those 3,000 leaders, they are taking care of those people directly, making sure that in the house that they live next to, on their street, they meet in homes, and it's more practical. The tiny groups speak to each other and talk about how can we help each other. So there's these tiny groups that directly meet each other's needs. And we believe that works. That's a system that works. If it didn't work, think about this. I also was thinking about this not long ago when I was looking at our Prime Minister and how she was had a meeting with the head of the farms, head of those in charge of villages. And the TV was saying she got 10,000 people to come. What a feat! And I thought, why is that a feat? I do that every month. And I don't do it once in 5 years. I don't do it once a year. And I thought, hey, I guess it's a phenomenon that so many people come to one place constantly. It's not just a one-time thing. And that means that something is working out. And I thought that when you talk about all the heads of the villages who come to listen to politicians spin some promises about their town budgets, it sounds more like a dance around the a dance around the golden calf than about anything related to the soul. They're not thinking about a soul in their moment. No, they're thinking about the golden calf. Yes, I understand that if it's something very small they're being offered. It's not golden. And they really need that money, but it's still sparkly. Yeah, it's still something sparkly, but it's material. All right, that makes sense. Next question, if you would like to talk about it. A lot of people are talking about this in the press. What is the problem with the what's going on with the case? How's the situation with King's Capital? People are calling you guilty. People are saying that you have committed a crime. But how do you respond to that? Yeah, but he avoided that in his last interview and talked more about Lutsenko. No, about the director.